The Atari.io button is here because every 26th of the month they celebrate Atari Day, and I'm going to celebrate Atari Day by playing a game I actually received through the forums, The Secret Santa at Atari.io, Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes from fellow YouTuber Atari Creep. And check out this label, it's so awesome, it's fit for framing. This is a great one. I mean, you got a bowl that's a tomato, a Bullmato. How awesome is that? And some of them even fly. Let's go ahead and take my Bullmato. Let's pop it in my Atari 7800 Pro system and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes was published by 20th Century Fox and carries a copyright year of 1983. Although it clearly seems to be inspired by the movie Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, it is technically a separate title and not related to the film. The game was programmed by John Russell, who also worked on the Atari 2600 game Pigs in Space, which I reviewed in episode 302. The back of the box states the following: perhaps it was a form of protest against bottled ketchup, or maybe they were provoked by acid rain. Previously harmless garden tomatoes started turning into cold-blooded killers. Big beefsteak tomatoes started flying about, rudely splattering innocent bystanders. No weapon known to man could prevent those vicious veggies from multiplying. Just when all seemed hopeless, someone suggested that since the plants could not be destroyed, they should just be trapped behind brick walls. Now the question is, can enough walls be built in time to stop the tomatoes from taking over the world? Find out before it's too late. Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes is a single screen shooter for one player only. The game has 8 game variations. Variation 1 only contains tomato plants that fire tomato bombs at you from below. Variation 2 also includes beefsteak tomatoes that roam across the screen. Variation 3 adds small flying cherry tomatoes that fly across the top of the screen, dropping tomato bombs. Variation 4 has brick eaters, plants that grow on bricks on the bottom of the screen, and if they fully grow, they will eat a brick away. Variation 5 is the same as Variation 3, but it increases with difficulty after each round. Variation 6 is the same as Variation 4, but it also increases in difficulty with each round. This is also the default starting variation when you turn on the system. Variation 7 is the same as Variation 5, but the tomato bombs are wider, and Variation 8 is the same as Variation 6, but again, the tomato bombs are wider. When the left difficulty switch is in the A position, you start out with 4 sprayers per game, but when it's in the B position, you get unlimited sprayers, so basically you get unlimited lives. When the right difficulty switch is in the A position, the speed of the tomatoes and the tomato bombs are fast, but they're slow when it's in the B position. For the controls, you use the joystick to move your sprayer around, holding down the button to fire. You can only have one shot on screen at a time, but if you hold down the button, once one shot leaves the screen, another will replace it, essentially giving you a version of rapid fire. The goal of each level is to build 3 walls on the bottom of the screen to stop the tomato plants. To do so, you must shoot a brick at the top of the screen. When you do so successfully, your sprayer will turn into the color of the brick you are holding. To place the brick, you must shoot somewhere along the area of the same color from either above or below, but not from the side. If done correctly, a brick will appear in the area where you shot it. However, you must be careful when doing this. Once you shoot a second time after getting a brick, you will no longer hold on to it, which can be easy to lose since holding down the button can have you shoot twice in a row quickly at times. So when trying to do this brick gathering and laying, you need to lay off the fire button a little bit. You can only complete a wall of bricks if the wall beneath it is already finished. So before you can fully complete the wall of pink bricks, you must complete the wall of green bricks at the bottom first. If you are able to complete all 3 walls, you'll move on to the next screen. And if you lost one of your 3 lives in reserve, you will earn 1 back, something I don't think was mentioned in the manual. You lose a life every time you're shot with a tomato bomb, or if you touch either the brick-eating plant or the roaming tomato. Scoring-wise, you get 5 points for shooting the beefsteak tomato or the brick-eater plant. You get 10 points if you capture a brick, and 20 points if you put it in a place in a wall. You get 50 points if you shoot a killer cherry tomato flying across the top of the screen. You get 1,000 points for completing the first wall, 2,000 for the second, and 3,000 for the third. Graphically speaking, although much of the game is rather simple, I do like the look of your sprayer, the growing tomato plants, and the roaming tomatoes with their mouth that moves open and shut. Sound and music-wise, everything is pretty basic in the game, although I did like the small touch of adding a musical scale at the beginning of a level and a descending scale when you complete that level. Family-friendly wise, the game would most likely get an E for everyone rating if released today. At the time I researched on eBay including shipping, Loose copies were going for $7 to $10. Complete were going for $20 to $22, and one new copy sold for $77. So what did I think of Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes? Overall, I really like this quirky game. I definitely recommend playing it with limited lives, as playing it with unlimited lives takes away the challenge and a lot of the fun, but it is good for practice. And you have to understand how to play the game, but I like how it mixes action with some strategy. Build a wall the wrong way and you'll find yourself having to navigate around poorly placed bricks, but build a wall correctly and you will gain precious protection from the tomato plants below. I also found the challenge fitting and thought that the game controlled very well. It reminds me a lot of Plaque Attack by Activision, a game I didn't care for that much, but that many other gamers really like. And in my opinion, Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes improves on the formula of Plaque Attack, being able to move in various directions and shoot diagonal shots. In the end, I found this game to be quirky and fun, and I could easily see myself playing it again in the future. So where am I going to rank Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes? This one is going a lot higher than I thought it would before I played it. I do like Empire Strikes Back more at 31, but I will put this over Mega Force at 32. So out of the 192 games I've now ranked for the Atari 2600, Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes is rolling into the 32 position. Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes is a quirky hidden gem for the 2600. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me both on the Facebook and the Twitter. Check out some of my many other videos and sign up at patreon.com/nosweargamer, just like Isaac did to support the show and gain access to exclusive perks. Thank you, Atari Creep, for giving me this game through the Atari.io Secret Santa. And thank you, the viewer, for giving me a little part of your day. I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care and have a very happy Atari Day.